And once again, we are back at the Portland Media Center. I've had a lot of guests tell me that I can't say we are live because this isn't actually a live stream, so I'm going to start moving away from that. But thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. This is episode 5 of Between the Piers and halfway to my 10-episode goal, so that's really exciting. I want to give a special shout out to all the mothers out there. I was returning from the woods for Mother's Day. I was guiding a trip up the Osceolas in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Otherwise, I would have made a special episodic highlight or something along those lines. I have no idea. So I figured I'd make today's episode a special one and do something I have not seen a lot of podcasters do. And this is either going to go great or it's going to go completely off the rails. My next guest is Nicole White, a local artist, a small business owner, a homesteader, and my mother. Hi, Mom. It's great to have you on the podcast today.
Hey, boo-boo.
Hi, Mom. Yes. So let's just get right into it. Could you give the audience a bit of a background in your history in terms of like art, and because I know that that's kind of been the big focus of your life right now, and what you're currently doing in terms of artistry.
Okay. Wow. All right. So I was not, well, I guess I was born an artist. I have never been formally trained. I just could always do it.
Okay.
So I decided when I was about, I don't know, whatever, that I was going to save the world. And I went to school and I got a degree in psychology, went to college, got a degree in psychology. I minored in health studies. And then I went and I worked for the Department of Health and Human Services.
Sounds so exciting.
Oh my goodness, let me tell you. It was it was absolute torture, boo-boo.
Oh dear.
So for 10 years, I was a DHHS caseworker. Well, actually 6 years working in the adolescent unit and then 4 years working for DLRS.
DLRS? What's that?
Department of Licensing and Regulatory Services.
Oh, wow.
I licensed child cares in the state of Maine.
So exciting.
Oh, I had 200 facilities.
200? You alone?
Oh, yes.
What?
And can I just tell you, right? It took me about 6 months because kids, they got bugs, they got boogies. And they are germ factories. So it took me about 6 months to not be sick working. Because you go and grab the handle.
Did you get sick pretty consistently?
Grab the handle. Those little kids, they itch their little bum. They do whatever. And you know what? But anyways, I did that for 4 years. And then, I had a little health issue and ended up leaving the state of Maine. Now, the first time I picked up a brush in my entire life, I was in my late 30s.
Really?
Yeah.
So your connection with art didn't begin when you were younger. It started in your 30s.
In my 30s.
Wow.
Yeah. It was the only way that I could find a place where I could go and I wasn't stressed. It was my own world. Mm-hmm. So it started with me picking up a brush in, I think, my late 30s. And a year later, lo and behold, I had my first art show in Kennebunkport, Maine.
Okay. Where were you when you started art? Were you in the state of Maine?
Yeah.
You were? You had said that you had said that you had left the state, so I was curious if you had left
the state of Maine as an employee.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Baby, this is when you were little. We were living in Portland.
Yep.
You remember Mom got a little crazy? She got a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
I can't say that I do remember that. I was maybe 6 or 7 years old.
But it's all right. It was all right. You're
good.
You're
good. Isn't it funny that I decided ultimately to move back to Portland,
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it here.
I miss our little brownstone.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's funny. I drive past it all the time. And I actually drove past it today on my way to the media center. And I was like, man.
That's right. That was good times.
Yeah. It's funny. I remember playing the viola very, very poorly in that window on the Memorial Day parade. And then stopping to watch all the people in the Memorial Day parade going by on Congress.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But the thing about the viola, Bubba,
What?
is that the viola is a very forgiving instrument.
That's true.
So we went to that concert, and not for nothing, but all of you kids nailed it.
Well, that's mighty optimistic of you to say that we nailed it. But
You nailed it. Was actually, you could listen to it,
really,
and it was very forgiving.
I don't remember this, so
I do.
I'm glad that maybe I should be glad I don't remember this.
Yeah, probably.
But
I got the thumbs up afterward. You did good.
oh, I mean, if I got the thumbs up, that's pretty good. It's funny. I remember when I was, oh my gosh, maybe in elementary school. Do you remember the concert I did at the old folks' home when I was super sick? And I was like trying to like play the viola, and I was like coughing the entire time. And one of the old ladies offered me a glass of water.
I do not remember that.
You see, the problem is that I do.
You were there, but I bet I wasn't.
Yeah, it may have been during a school day or something.
Yeah, so good.
Anyways, so when you were in like high school and throughout college, did you have any glimpses into being a full-time artist, or was that just
God, no.
not at all?
Not even.
Okay.
Not
Wow.
even. Since I can remember, I remember when I was a little kid, and I could draw exactly what I saw.
Really?
It was always there.
Yeah.
It was easy for me. It was so easy that I never even pursued it.
Wow.
And I remember like we used to have these highlight magazines, and at the end of it, there were these pictures. Like one of them was a pirate and one of them was a turtle, and you would draw the turtle, and then they said submit it to art school. So I remember drawing the turtle, and I think I was maybe, I don't know, 8. And I showed my ma, and then she was like, "You traced that." I go, "Ma, I didn't trace it."
You didn't trace it at all. Wow.
It was a gift. It was a gift.
Okay.
Like I'm an ADHD poster child. You know that, Sweet Pea.
Absolutely.
And my thought is that every ADHD person has a superpower.
Okay.
You know? It
And
takes
yours
a long time to find it. And that was mine.
was art. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really inspirational. So you didn't excel in art classes in high school? There was none of that?
Oh, please. I remember taking one when I was in college at USM.
Yep.
And it was an elective. It was an art class. And it was me and my roommate at the time. Her name was, well, anyways, I'm not going to get into that.
Okay.
But in this class, we had a naked, what do you call those? Naked
Model? Like
Model.
somebody who comes in like, okay.
yes, one of those naked models.
Yep.
And this woman was a redhead, and she was so confident, and she red hair everywhere.
Oh my God.
And the class was, like a 4-hour art class.
Yep.
And you would say pose, and then she would move, and then you would say pose, and and I remember she bent over right in front of me.
Oh man.
Oh, she gave me the full moon, baby.
Okay, so this might be time to mention that I try to keep this podcast PG-13 at the
This
very.
is PG-13.
I
Trust
know,
me,
I
honey.
know.
I got you. So she bent over and gave me the full moon.
Oh my
And
God.
you know me, honey. I can't help myself. I will laugh if somebody falls.
Did she fall?
No, she didn't fall, but she gave me a full moon.
Oh man.
So I started laughing so hard that, and I have a distinctive laugh. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yeah.
It sounds like,
Yeah, we're
right?
going to hear it a couple of times on this podcast. That is the
Of
goal.
course.
Yeah.
Yes. And so then the girl, my roommate, right? One of the girls that was living with me was taking the class with me. She starts cracking up.
Oh no. And it's a cascading
yes.
effect.
I can't help myself. When I start going, everybody starts going.
Yep.
And so I got kicked out of the class. And
There it is. See, folks, there's number 1. We got it.
all fun and games until you get the moon.
Oh.
And so that was the only art class that I ever took. And I remember the man said to me, "You are one of the most stubborn people," because he would tell me to do something and I would do it my own way. And I got an A+ in the class.
You got kicked out of the class and you got an A+.
I got an A+.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. Going back to the whole nude modeling thing, do you think that people just wake up and they're like, oh, well, today I'm going to be a nude model for an art class? Like, how does one get into that hobby? Is that a hobby? Is that a profession? Like, how do you do that?
I think that what it is it is definitely a, these people that do this need money.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think it pays well.
Oh, does it pay well?
I think it pays fairly well. Wouldn't you think if you we're going to stand in front of like a group of like
a group of like 50 art students completely
50
naked?
college students, and you were going to, give them the moon, you would get a lot of money for that, dude.
You see, I don't know though, because it's like, aren't you just sitting there? Like, you're not doing anything like physically laborious. You're just
you're walking around the room and posing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I understand you worked seasonally for some time when you were in college on Monhegan Island.
I did.
So you worked seasonally in college on Monhegan Island, off of Port Clyde, and there's an artist colony there.
Oh my goodness! I would like anyone that wants to become an artist, I would encourage to visit Monhegan Island.
Okay.
There is an artist colony there. It was started, I think, back in the early 1900s. Now, don't quote me on this.
Okay.
But I know that it was started by a man named Rockwell Kent.
I've heard the name Rockwell Kent. Does he have any major pieces that people might be able to recognize in terms of like his artistic pieces?
Rockwell Kent was actually originally an architect.
Really? Okay.
And he lived on Monhegan. Well, not lived on Monhegan, but he went to Monhegan. He actually was the architect that built the house on Lobster Cove that is now owned by Jamie Wyeth.
So Jamie Wyeth, any relation to Andrew Wyeth?
Yes, dear. Andrew Wyeth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a family. The grandfather was N.C. Wyeth.
N.C. Wyeth, okay.
And N.C. Wyeth was books. He was an illustrator for all these books and a painter. And then you have Andrew Wyeth. And I've never seen a man more capable of doing a realistic painting than Andrew Wyeth. He's amazing. Everybody knows him or they've seen one of his paintings in Maine. And he's most famous for the Helga series.
Okay.
And it's this painting with this woman sitting in a field back to.
Oh, and there's the house in the corner.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I've absolutely seen that painting.
And his son is Jamie Wyeth.
And Jamie Wyeth owns that, just to bring it all together, Jamie Wyeth owns the house that Rockwell Kent built?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. It was passed on to the Wyeth family. So Rockwell Kent, early 1900s, he was an artist and he brought all of these artists to Monhegan Island to start this artist colony group.
And did they all live together?
No, they just went out there because when you go to Monhegan, you're 12 nautical miles offshore.
That's pretty far.
And there are cliffs on Monhegan Island that are like 100 feet tall on the backside of the island.
Kind of like the cliffs of Moher in like Ireland?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe though.
Yeah, perhaps. And so there's nothing between you and Portugal when you're on these cliffs. It's just vast, open ocean. And it's such an inspirational thing. And so often, since he started that artist group, it's just continued over the years. So every year there's more artists come out, and it's almost like a staple, if you want to learn. And I do know that when I was there 20 years ago, there was a watercolorist out there. His name was Don Stone. He was one of the top 4 watercolorists in the world. He would have his own artist groups. So it's like an honorable thing to be asked to join an artist group out there.
Wow.
And, oh yeah, it's amazing. And I would dare say that if you are even, most people in Maine have seen a painting from Monhegan Island because it is such a popular place. You know.
And the popularity hasn't waned at all. Like this has been a thing that has continued throughout the years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, since the 1900s.
That's really incredible.
And that is incredible.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's an artist colony there. Would you say that exposure to that influenced? Well, not a colony, but an artist group that stays out there, surely.
Well, they come. They're invited to come.
Yep.
They're invited to learn. And then, like
Sure.
I said, it's a precious thing.
Would you say that being kind of adjacent to that inspired you to
No.
create art? Not at all?
No.
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 So it was just something that existed. huh?
I dated an artist for a short time when
Mm-hmm.
you were younger, and I said to him, he was an artist. His whole family was artists. His brother was an artist. He was a teacher, And I said to him, okay, take me to the Portland. At the time, there's probably still there. Downtown on Forest Avenue, there's a place where you get art supplies.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it. And I said, all right, get me what I need. I didn't know what to use to paint. Like, I didn't know. I had never done it before. I said, I just need to know what to buy, because I was going to start oil painting. And so he showed me he's like, you're not ready. I go, really? Don't you tell me I'm not ready for anything.
Yep.
And so I went there. He got me the materials and bam, 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 there we went.
And it just went from there.
Year later, I had a show in Kennebunkport.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So
it's always in there.
Yeah, it was always in there. You just needed to
unlock it.
You just needed to unlock it. That's
and once you
so interesting.
once you unlock that side of your brain, man, or tap into it, it's just like it just evolved. Like it went to jewelry design, mosaic design. You know me, I've built dinosaurs out of driftwood. I've you name it, I've done it.
It has been something that has been a staple at our house for the longest time.
It
yeah.
has been.
Yeah. So you never know what's going to be in our backyard. Sometimes it's dinosaurs, sometimes it's dragons. It's pretty impressive. It's
Thank
pretty
you,
impressive.
baby.
You didn't give any of it to me, but that's totally fine.
Oh, now don't you say that. You're a writer.
You know I can't
you
paint.
are a writer.
You're
not a painter, but you're a writer.
Right.
You have got a lot of me in you.
Well, I'm very thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your first piece that you made that you actually felt like legitimately proud of?
The first piece I ever did, was it was jalapenos. And
Like the pepper?
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I still have that piece. It was amazing. And then I did a few master studies. I actually did a master study of a Rockwell Kent. You know what? Like I said, it was just inside me. I could always do it.
What is a master study?
A master study is when you take a master or an art like Rockwell Kent, who to me, is iconic, and you replicate one of their paintings.
Okay. Wow.
Completely. Yeah. Yeah. I've done it with Franz Marc. I've done it with, and it was just like, yeah. Yeah.
That's very interesting. So do you replicate it in their style, or do you just repaint what they painted?
You actually repaint what they painted,
man.
and you honor them on the back. You make sure this is a master study of a Rockwell Kent.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is super, super cool.
Yeah.
Has living in Maine, because we've lived in Maine, oh goodness gracious, as long as I've been alive.
Well, no, that's not true. But
maybe not.
yeah, since you were about 18 months.
Yeah, so we might as well say that we've lived in Maine our entire life.
Yeah.
Has living in Maine influenced your art style at all? Because we have so much natural beauty, right? We have the Western Mountains, we have the Northwestern Mountains, the Allagash Waterway, and the ocean. Has it influenced you at all?
I'm sure at some point it has, but I don't follow rules. I don't follow genres. I won't take an art class because I feel like these people are going to try to teach me something that I don't want to learn. You know what I mean?
So you don't go to the Muse paint bar down in Commercial. Like, that's
Honey,
not your...
I have taught.
We're going to get to that. We are going to get to that.
Okay.
But you wouldn't say it has influenced your art style at all?
You know, I don't even know that I have a style because I am so all over the place and I create from my heart and I get this idea and this vision. And one week it could be, oh my goodness, I'm going to build a natural playground. You know, why? Because I'm opening a childcare.
Yes.
And so let me just grab sticks, weave them, do my thing. Or, you know what? I'm bored of that. All right. So what am I going to do? I don't care. Let me see here. I'm going to create with this. I'm going to create, and I don't know that I have a particular style, but I do find beauty in Maine and where we are and the quiet and the...
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny, once you told me that beavers influenced your art style once.
Beavers?
Beavers, like because you...
Like beaver fever beaver?
Sure, like giardial umbrella beavers. Yeah.
Okay.
Bulber, as they're known in some sects. Because you said that beavers interlock their dams.
You are so correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And they interlock their dams so well that it's impossible to take it apart.
Do you want me to talk about the beaver?
Absolutely. I do want you to talk about the beaver.
All right. Not that kind of beaver, everybody. Change your mind.
No, we're talking about the one of the largest rodents in the world.
So, are they the largest rodents?
They are not the largest,
No,
but they're
I've
up there.
seen a capybara in Florida recently, and it absolutely floored me. They were the size of a small pig.
Yes, capybara is the largest rodent in the world.
And I had no idea the actual size of the capybara until I saw these capybaras in Florida. I was amazed. But no, what had happened was here we go. I was asked to do a blue heron. I was asked to design a blue heron. It was a commission piece, and it was for the Maine Lakes Resource Center out of Driftwood. And I was downtown, and I had completed the blue heron out of the Driftwood, but they had asked me to go into the location where it was going to be displayed and build the nest.
And this was in front of their headquarters, if I remember correctly?
It was like all I remember is it's downtown Belgrade.
Yes, it's in the Belgrade
Lakes.
the Belgrade Lakes region.
Yeah, right across from Dave's store.
Got
Dave's, and if you're familiar with Belgrade, you know where that is. And so I had the opportunity to build the nest in front of people walking by and I met a man from who used to work. He says, "What are you doing?" And he called me a beaver. He's like, "What are you, a beaver?" Because I hadn't brought the heron in yet. So it just looked like I was building a little beaver dam. And he actually worked for the Maine, whatever.
Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife.
Thank you,
DIFW.
baby.
Yeah.
And part of his job was to disassemble these beaver dams. And he had told me that it was the most difficult job he's ever had because you can't just pull a stick out of a beaver dam. Every single stick has a purpose. So they interlock. Like beavers are master architects.
Absolutely.
Beaver. Beaver's got it going on.
Yes, they do.
Yes. So when I had the childcare for a short time and I was building that natural playground.
Yes.
And I grabbed all of the debris. I mean, that stuck in my mind. So literally, I would weave these sticks. Like, remember how I built that 20-foot nest out of sticks?
Yeah, it was the one in between the 3 trees near
exactly,
the end.
Exactly. It was our outdoor classroom. It was 20-foot nest built out of sticks and debris and everything that I had found. And every single one of those sticks was the same principle of the beaver. You couldn't just pull one out because every one was interlocked with the other one.
That
so I guess I think
is-
that's what you're talking about when you say beaver, beaver.
That is absolutely what I talk about when I say beaver, beaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
She speaks trees.
You know what's interesting? I was leading a trip in the Whites, and we stopped by a beaver dam, and I just couldn't help but think about that. Beavers are very interesting in so far as they are master architects.
They really are.
They're master lumberjacks. Like, you never hear a story about a beaver crushing itself with like a tree, because they just know. You know what I mean? They know when it's going to come down.
You sure?
They also.
How do you know if a beaver crushes himself with a tree?
I guess you just don't.
You
I
don't.
mean, you just don't find.
If a beaver crushes himself with a tree and nobody's there, did it really happen?
It did really happen, because eventually somebody will go through there, or something will eat it, and
That's right.
something living will
That's
know
true.
that.
That's true.
Additionally, their teeth grow forever, right? Their
Yes.
4 teeth grow forever, and they actually have to like whittle them down using
Exactly.
trees, or they're just going to keep growing. It's
Like
gonna
cat
become
claws.
Exactly, same deal.
Mhm.
So yeah, beavers are really cool, and they're also incredible environmental engineers as well.
Yeah.
They like beaver dam influenced areas can serve as protection from forest fires and things of that nature.
Very true.
So beavers are really cool in that. I could go talking about beavers forever. though.
Love the beavers, baby.
Yeah, I don't love Giardia though. I'm gonna be completely honest with that.
No, you
So, have you done
I don't
any?
think I do either.
Yeah, no. Oh my gosh.
Excuse me, beaver. Don't give me Giardia. Sorry. Okay,
No, that's
baby.
quite all right. It's true. Have you done any other commission pieces in the state that people can see?
Oh gosh, yeah, I did that one. Other commission pieces. Oh, don't make me think, because my memory is like a tuna fish.
Mhm.
But yes, I have. I just can't. I can't think of it right now.
There's the Puffin Mobile, isn't there?
Oh yes. So, my cousin Amy.
Yep.
Owns the Monhegan Boat Line. Her
Yep.
and her husband Andy, the Barstows. And Amy found this because Amy loves seabirds.
Yes.
And she found this puffin that was done. They do puffin cruises as well.
Do they go out to like
Out of Port Clyde.
Out of Port Clyde.
Yeah.
They go to like Eastern Egg Rock, I think is the really big
I
one.
think so. Yeah. Yeah. They do puffin cruises. And so she found this puffin that was done by an artist in Maine. And he was a little, let's say, worn,
The Puffin had seen better days.
The puffin had seen better days.
Oh,
the
dear.
puffin had been, out in the elements. And so Amy, the actual original artist, had died.
Oh dear! Wow.
So Amy asked me if I would restore the puffin to its original valor. And so I did. So down in Port Clyde, right as you're getting onto the Monhegan Boat Line, you can see my puffin out in the harbor. It's kind of a staple there. And it was with marine paint. Ooh, wasn't that a interesting? Marine paint stanks.
Yeah, boat paint's not pleasant, huh?
Oh no, and it's not really good for you. I have to say, I think I lost about 10,000 brain cells on that deal. But yes, you can see my puffin there. And I also, she asked me to take a go-kart. A go-kart, what's that called?
Golf cart.
Golf cart. Thank you, baby. Not a go-kart. A golf cart, and turn it into a puffin mobile. And so when you go to Port Clyde, and you're going on to the Monhegan boat, you will see my puffin mobile driving through the community.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
So
is
that
is super cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you still do driftwood art?
I just actually came home from a trip from Moosehead Lake.
Mhm.
Actually, we were there, Jackman last
Jackman,
weekend.
yeah.
Yes, and I have a huge haul
Okay.
that I forced my significant other and all the children to grab my pieces. There were some that were larger than me, but I thought, well, you're strong enough, grab it. So I have that new haul, and I also have a huge haul that I grabbed off in China Lake.
Okay.
Filled the boat, so it didn't sink, but it was close to. You remember how I used to take you in the canoe we were on the canoe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
And you were, in your late teens, early 20s.
Yep.
And I would make you haul the driftwood
Yes.
into the canoe.
Yes.
It was kind of a dangerous situation at times, but, we would haul. So anyways, I just have that. So I absolutely am going to do some more driftwood art
Excellent.
soon.
The reason I'm asking is because we still need to go to the Sea of Bones in Flagstaff.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes,
Flagstaff Lake.
we got to get a canoe.
Yeah.
I currently don't
Now,
own a canoe. But
Tell the people, anybody who's in love with driftwood.
Yes.
Flagstaff Lake was once a town.
yes, yeah, this is a conversation I've had with other guests on this podcast.
Oh, really?
But I had a conversation with Levi Robbins
Nice.
about like diving Flagstaff because it was once a town, and then Central Maine Power basically claimed eminent domain and gave the state of Maine an ultimatum. Right?
Yeah.
Either we're going to flood the Carrabassett Valley, or we're going to
flood this town.
We're going to flood Flagstaff.
Yeah.
And naturally, nobody wants to flood the Carrabassett Valley. That's like a huge source of outdoor recreation in the state because you got Sugarloaf right there. You got the Bigelow Preserve.
You got great rocks there too in that river.
Yes.
Beautiful
Yep.
rocks.
So unfortunately, it was Flagstaff that took the fall there. And CMP went in and they flooded the town. And all of the trees ended up deposited on... It's like if you look at Flagstaff, it's kind of in the shape of a crescent moon, but then there's like a bulb at the top, and then if on the top right, this is not making sense to anybody trying to visualize this, but the point being, there's two little ponds. There's the lake, and then there's another pond on top of the lake, and on the right side there's just driftwood.
You were turning my crank, honey. I can't wait to go
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it from satellite, you can see that.
No.
I mean, obviously not from space, but if you're in a plane flying over, that would be insane, wouldn't it?
That kind of would be. Like the Great Wall of China.
Yeah. No, no, it's not that significant. But if you fly over it with a plane, you can see just this giant deposit of all this driftwood.
Well, and I can tell folks too that anywhere that you would see, like CMP has all of these turbines.
Yes. Yeah,
So
the turbines are pretty big.
Anywhere that you find like a dam or a CMP turbines, you will find a significant deposit of driftwood.
Right.
So it's not always about, taking it from, like, I try not to ever take driftwood from like Popham or Reed State Park or anything like that because, it's natural, keep it. But go to these places with these huge turbines and find their driftwood there.
Yep.
It's a renewable resource.
It's much more sustainable, and it's much more it's just
Ethical.
much more ethical than taking it from state parks.
It's like you need, like, people, I don't know. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right.
Important to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of your business ventures that you've had with art.
Yeah.
Naturally, we got to get into Artful Nights Maine, and we will. What would you say has been super successful, like Artful Nights Maine?
Yeah.
And what hasn't gone so smoothly?
What has not gone so smoothly? Well, me being a DHS caseworker wasn't so smooth, man.
Yeah,
I was like a
I'd agree
square
with that.
peg in a round hole.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I decorated my supervisor's office. I dressed my coworkers. You know what I
So you
mean?
did everything but the really heavy stuff that you were supposed to do.
No. I
mean,
did
you
the
did it,
really,
of
I did
course.
the really heavy stuff too. I did the really heavy stuff. Obviously, we wrote a book when I was at DHS. You
You want to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it was called the Extinction Elimination Boogie Woogie
Hoedown, baby. And
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
right after you had you were at Reiki school,
Yep. So the one in the West End. Yep.
the West End. Yep. I had put you into what was that Catholic school? Oh my goodness.
St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick's.
Oh.
And it was just not a good fit for you. There was you struggled with your handedness,
Yes.
and just the fact that, and your self-esteem when you walked in there, you're like, hi, my name is Piers, and the teachers told me you were too animated. And I was like, oh my God, is there such a thing? So by the end of your kindergarten year, you were struggling with self-esteem and things like that because of the way that they were, you know, your intelligence, you were on like reading at a third grade level, you know, but struggle with handedness, struggle with writing.
I did struggle with that. I think I still struggle with that.
Well, whatever, you know, you're brilliant. And so I said, you know what, baby? We are going to write your book.
Okay.
Let's write your book.
Yeah, and that was, gosh.
And you said, okay, Mama. And I said, what do you want to write your book about? To this day, I want to save the animals, Ma.
Yeah.
And I said, okay.
Yep.
So we wrote your story. You chose all of these animals that were extremely endangered, and we wrote your book.
That's super cool. Fun fact about that. I just found out today that the giant panda is no longer endangered.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that online.
The giant panda was not in our book.
It was not, but it is a charismatic megafauna that people really love. So I believe, if my sources are correct, and I might have to look into that. But the giant panda is no longer endangered.
That's a beautiful gift.
Isn't that nice?
I love that.
I've been, not to get off on a tangent too much here, but I've been looking a lot into, have you heard of Colossal Biosciences?
Mm-mm.
Okay, yeah. So Colossal Biosciences is this this organization that is utilizing bioscience and DNA science to de-extinct species. Now, when people hear that, they automatically think Jurassic Park, right?
Absolutely.
People are thinking like, "Oh my God, they're going to bring back dinosaurs."
No.
When are they bringing back the dinosaurs? That's not what's happening here, though. What they're doing is they're utilizing DNA, and they're utilizing like samples of this DNA to bring back species that are close to extinction. A great example, personally, that I connect with is the Carolina red wolf. Okay. So when I was working in Cape Hatteras, we went to Alligator River National Wildlife Sanctuary, which is one of the places where the Carolina red wolf, there's like 15 of them left.
Oh my goodness.
And one of them ran across the road in front of us.
Wow.
So Colossal Biosciences is utilizing Carolina red wolf DNA to breed more of them, right? And to not necessarily breed them, but in a way to keep their numbers stable, which I think is really, really cool. And I really think that that's a good way to utilize bioscience when it comes to conservation for animals. And it's definitely a mixed bag. They definitely have received a lot of kickback for that, but What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
And, you know, what I know is that, or what I feel, I actually have strong feelings about this. Anytime that and this is a different, you know, whatever. It's not about using DNA to do that, but I feel like there's a natural order of things. And every time that they introduce, like, say, a new species, like in Maine, okay?
Yep.
They brought in the Asian beetle to eat the aphids on the tomatoes. And what happened? Oh my goodness. Now we have all got the Asian beetles in our houses.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, those ladybugs.
Oh, yeah. The turkey. Okay, they brought back the turkey the same. When I was a child, we did not have the turkey.
Interesting.
And I can't tell you how many gaggles of turkeys I've almost hit, you know, on the road because, you know, I just feel like there's a natural order of things. When they introduce something like the cane toad in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
I do know the cane toad.
Poison cane toad.
Yep.
So I feel like I am a little apprehensive about using
DNA to keep species alive,
repopulate species.
So I hear you on that. And I want to go back to the example of the Carolina red wolf. This is a species that has lived in the area since human settlement.
And man has destroyed.
And the majority of their deaths are due to automotive impact.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily...
I hear what you're saying.
My argument is
that
that's a disruption of the natural order
because
from
man created
human encroachment.
Exactly.
So that's
Yeah.
and the cane toad should not have been there in the first place. Like, and I actually, this is a great time to plug my favorite podcast that's not my own is What the Fauna, which is Dom's podcast. Dom has a podcast, and it's so awesome.
My little son from another mother.
Yes, he's down in Australia, and he has a podcast where he highlights some of these super cool species.
Yeah.
And
I remember when he got the bats out of my house.
yes, yeah,
Came over from England, was visiting.
Yep.
And I kept getting these bats, and I am terrified. When I say terrified, if I hear that little screechy,
the squeaking.
I drop to the floor
Yes.
on all fours
Yep.
and scream like a baby and run out of the room.
Yep.
And I remember Dawn coming in and just saving me from like 3 bats, and we figured out the bathroom window was open. That's how they were.
Yeah,
getting
he
in.
does. He's really well versed with bats. He used to do bat surveys in the
he's
United
amazing.
Kingdom. One time we were at this park across the street when we were down in New York before we drove up to Maine, and he had this like field sonar, and he pointed at these bats flying overhead, and we could actually hear them echolocating.
Oh, nice.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has a podcast now, and it's super cool. So would
Yes.
recommend.
Absolutely, I would recommend, because you know what? Tom is an amazing young man.
I agree with that. I
And
could
I'm-
not agree with that anymore.
And he loves snakes
He loves snakes
and
yeah.
creatures.
He was actually just down in where was he? He was in, I think, Taiwan
Really?
looking for king cobras.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that absolutely insane? Like
I
that is
love
the
him.
thing that he just does that. He
Yeah,
just
see, I
goes
could
there.
not do that. I could not walk through the woods and look for any sort of cobra. I would, anything that touched me, I would scream like a banshee.
He just goes out there and he does it.
I know it. I know. And he loves them. He thinks they're beautiful.
He absolutely adores them. Anyways, we kind of went on a bit of a tangent there about colossal bioscience. They also brought back. I'm just gonna say this.
Well, now that you're talking about it, and my thought process is if the natural orders of, like, for example, the dinosaurs died, you know, they had their time. If the natural order of things was disrupted by human interference, I agree that would be a good way to repopulate a species that serves a purpose.
And has been unjustly destroyed
Yes.
by encroachment. Yeah.
Destroyed by humans.
I don't think that, I think that human encroachment kind of violates the natural order. But I mean, we don't get to get
Absolutely
into
true.
that
No,
too
we're
much.
not going to. Yeah.
They also brought back, they say they brought back the dire wolf. Nobody can see this. I'm doing like finger
quotes.
Finger quotes.
Finger quotes, direwolf.
Yeah. And the dire wolf that they brought back 3. Their names were Romulus and Remus, after the founders of Rome, and a little sister named Khaleesi. Now, these dire wolves that they brought back there's dire wolf DNA in them, sure.
But they're not a pure direwolf.
Oh, God, no. No, and they're also based on the dire wolves from Game of Thrones, which are not historically accurate depictions of dire wolves. Dire wolves are actually more closely related to jackals than they are wolves.
Nice.
So the dire wolves that they brought back are just these giant white wolves. And like they ended up on Time magazine, and it was like a picture of Romulus, who was the first de-extincted species.
He's part direwolf.
Yeah.
He got a little direwolf in him.
A little bit.
Yeah.
They're also working, though, having said that, to bring back the thylacine, the Tasmanian tiger.
Really?
Yep. And the African blue buck, I think. But which, if they brought back a thylacine, I'd be much more impressed than the dire wolf. And they say that the genome is 99.9% complete. We'll see.
Wow.
Anyways,
It's a lot of sequencing.
yeah, a lot of sequencing.
A lot of it.
But anyways, Artful Nights Maine. Let's talk about it.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. So I left the state of Maine and opened up a childcare. And anyways, from there, I had a friend that was doing paint parties. So I'm like, yeah, let me try this. Did it. And she was like, man, I want you to teach for me. I said, okay, why not? I'll do it.
Yes.
And I did. And I ended up teaching about 90% of her shows, and her business went through the roof. And then she, then I said, okay, it's time for me to be a business person and open my own business. So I opened up Artful Nights Maine with artist Nicole, and it was it was like I finally, because mommy's always been a square peg in a round hole. Like
especially DHHS. Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. And I was like, where do I fit in this world?
Yep.
And then I started teaching, and that's where I fit. And I have taught, thousands and thousands of people in the state of Maine. I've taught Maine Maritime, Bowdoin College, SMCC. I could go on and on and on. And I absolutely loved it. Loved what I do. For some reason, I just have, I don't know, it's my superpower. Yeah.
What inspired you to develop that into what it was? You were on the news. You were all over the state.
Oh, sure.
But what was that driving force that kept you internally motivated when things got trickier?
I just loved it.
Yeah.
There is no part of me like, there's that weird cliche, if you love what you do,
you
won't work a day in your life.
Yep.
And I freaking love it. I loved meeting people. I mean, I'd walk in and, hey, how you do? And I don't have a poker face. So
not remotely.
If somebody like really screwed up their painting, I'm like, what the hell? Honest. Yeah. I couldn't teach my mom. And so, I can't explain, but it was where I fit in the world.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was great. It was a wonderful opportunity to meet. I mean, I never knew who I was going to teach.
Yep.
I never, and it was just excitement every single time. I'm like, how you doing?
And you did work outside of the state too, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I worked for the New England hemophiliac. It wasn't maybe it was New England hemophiliac group. So I did some work in Rhode Island and New Hampshire. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I think, I would dare say probably I've taught about 40 to 50,000 people in the last 10, 11 years.
That is a gigantic number.
It is.
And you brought joy to so many people.
During COVID.
Yes. I remember that being like the time where you really took off.
Oh, I just had so much fun. Like the whole world shut down. Everybody was depressed. I had to cancel it. At that time, I was scheduled. I can't remember, but I remember that it was in February, I think, is when the whole world shut.
Yeah,
March, something like that.
I think it was March because I was studying abroad at the time.
Yeah.
And then I had to get evacuated.
Yeah. We just got you before they closed the borders.
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
It's interesting in retrospect to be like, nowadays, like now that we're so far removed from COVID, like if I had stayed over there, like everything probably realistically would have been fine. But
you would have had a great time. You didn't want to come back. You're like, woo!
I was having a ball over there in the United Kingdom.
I'm in Wales. Yeah.
Yeah, me and Dom were together. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
why would I want to come back?
Yeah, I know.
But anyways. I
So
did.
the whole world shut down, and I think at that point I was scheduled for 6 shows a week. And the only reason that it wasn't 7 was because I needed one day to build the pallets. I mean, there was no life. People would just, Nicole, blah, blah, blah. And so, but the whole world shut down, and so didn't my business, completely.
Yep.
And I'm like, what can I do for this world to make it a better place? So I said, hell with it. I'm just going to do free shows online.
Yep.
And I was in the news, yada, yada, yada. But I ended up teaching people across the world. Like, I couldn't believe it. I had people in Australia. I had people in like the Middle Eastern countries, Egypt, all over. And for some reason, it was just a gift. It was like reaching people across the world. I got letters and cards, people telling me I saved their life. I'm like, no, I didn't save your life. You saved your life. I just gave you a little bit of something to look forward to.
Wow, that's really beautiful.
It's pretty awesome.
So what's your next business venture?
Well, as you know, and everybody who knows me and knows my business and has hired me and stuff, I had to stop teaching.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a severe head-on car collision.
Yep.
a year and a half later, I'm still unable to drive, and I've had what do you call it? Whatever, brain damage, all that stuff. So, I decided, and nobody knows this yet. You're the first person that I'm talking to about this,
And now
publicly.
you're saying it on my podcast.
And I am saying it on the podcast, baby.
Yep.
For the last 4 months, I have been designing. The whole business is sea glass.
Sea glass.
Sea glass.
Why sea glass? Do you have a connection to sea glass?
Oh, it turns my crank.
Okay.
Or it turns my crank right now.
Sure.
And my new business, which I have not even introduced to the world yet, and nobody knows about, it's called Mermaid Song.
Yep.
And it is a collection of art, sea glass jewelry, sea glass cards. And I've already had 4 or 5 businesses that want to show my work. And the whole world doesn't know about it yet, but it's coming. It's coming soon.
Okay.
With your help.
Yes, absolutely. I actually just, I was working on your business card.
See, because I touch the computer and it breaks.
Yeah, your business
Technology and I are
card
not
has
friends.
proven to be quite difficult to do.
Really?
Just due to aligning things has been quite difficult. I'm working on it. I have a grid set up. It's happening.
You're
It's just
amazing. I
slow
could not do
going.
that without you.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. When you are a real artist, right, and you can create from a turd, your ability to, and there was that lady that created with turds. Remember the moose lady with the moose turds?
No, I don't.
Well, she's pretty spectacular. She makes moose turd earrings and stuff like that.
Moose turd earrings?
I'm
Well,
not
I'll
even
tell you
kidding
what. I've seen so
Turdy,
many
turdy.
moose turds. I could get that lady all the moose turds she
See,
needs, man.
I think she's got a pretty good collection of
Oh,
them,
I
man.
bet she
She's
does.
done
There's
some
so
amazing
much
things
of
with those
it.
little turds. But you struggle with certain things.
Yep.
For example, technology. Ooh, I'd rather poke my eyeballs out. I touch a computer, it breaks. I mean, I'm not even kidding.
Sure.
So it's wonderful to have, or taxes. Who knew?
Oof.
Yeah. So, but I'm so sorry. Anyways, I saw that, Ma.
All right, so now's the time to mention that my grandmother is also in the room, and she's trying really, really hard not to laugh right now.
It's because of those moose turds, huh?
She's really struggling.
She's gonna snort soon.
Do not do that to her.
Oh goodness! Don't cough, Ma.
She is fighting demons right now. You leave her alone.
Okay. Excuse me, baby. All right. Anybody who has heard me cough in their ear, I am sorry if that hurt. So where were we? Moose turds. Where
Moose
were we?
turds.
Yeah. So my new business is called Mermaid Song. I have a bunch of locations in Maine where I'm going to display my work. I'm trying to get into the Belfast. What do you call that? Belfast.
Art festival or
Well, they have this incredible farmers market art thing that happens every Saturday.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to get with those folks, and yeah.
You ever thought about selling at Ren fairs? I feel like Ren fair people would absolutely love sea
What
glass.
the hell is a Ren fair?
You don't know what a Ren fair
I have
is?
no idea.
Oh, right. I'm going to one tomorrow, which is why I'm super excited to talk about this. Like a Renaissance fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been to one of those.
Yeah.
Where they have the big turkey legs.
Yes. It's like a
Yes.
staple is the big turkey legs.
The big turkey legs, and you can get remember the swords?
Yeah, like the wooden swords. Yeah.
wooden swords. Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to one tomorrow.
Where is it?
In New Hampshire. The New Hampshire Ren Fair
Nice.
is like the big one in New England.
Okay.
So we're going to that
It's
tomorrow.
not that one in Massachusetts. We used to go to that one in Topsfield.
Yeah, I don't. I avoid Massachusetts like the plague.
I don't blame you there.
Yeah, especially. Yeah, I avoid Massachusetts.
Which is nothing against Massachusetts people.
No, not at all.
We love you.
Totally. Yeah,
People
keep spending your
from
money up here. Anyways,
Moving on.
moving on. On a bit more of a serious note, yeah, I feel like it is important to discuss why you had to step away from Artful Nights Maine.
Yeah.
I know that change is like? I remember how devastated you were that you
Oh,
had to put
my
the business on
goodness.
hiatus.
Yeah, it broke my heart because, as I said, it's my gift,
Yep.
and I love teaching people. I was on my way to to teach a fundraiser,
Yep.
and not by any fault of my own. I was hit head on, going 70 miles an hour by another person who had lost control of their car, and
It was a rainy day, if I remember correctly.
hydroplaned and hit me head on. So so it's been a well, let me see. So it's been a year and a half of complete change.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I know the change is incredibly difficult for you, and it's something you do have to do a lot. How do you know when it's time to pivot versus when you just need to put your head down and endure? Like, how did you determine that it was time to pivot?
well, I didn't have a choice,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, I have been somebody. Well, since you were little,
Yep.
your mama's a warrior.
Yep.
And my big girl panties are always on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never give up.
Yep.
I never give up. And at that time I just I had no choice.
Yeah.
I had no choice. My brain wouldn't allow me to do certain things.
Mhm.
So, but I did not give up. I have it was a year and a half of humility,
Yep.
a year and a half of rebuilding.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can impress to anybody in this world, it's a survivor. And when you are a survivor,
Yep.
you never stop.
Yeah.
And there are so many folks out there that have had lives that are so much worse than me.
Mm.
It was a year of, one of the most difficult years of my life, but you just keep going.
Yep.
What
Well,
other choice do we have?
We really don't. And I know that definitely during hardships and times where people have come to me and they're like, "How do you keep going?" It's like, well, what else are you gonna do? You
That's
gonna
right.
roll
That's
over
right.
and just give up? Like, you
Yeah,
can't.
nobody cares. You give up, no one cares, but you pull yourself together because you got this one life.
Yep.
And you do what you got to do,
Absolutely.
no matter what it takes.
What does starting over actually emotionally feel like?
What does it feel like emotionally? I think that when you're in that mode, you really don't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
It's, about a year or 6 months later when you actually allow yourself to feel.
Wow.
You just grind.
Yep.
You grind.
Hey, you just put your head down and you just get it done. You get whatever you have to do done. You're not attaching too much emotional weight to it. You're just kind of going through the motions if you have to. And doing
then
the
the
best you can.
emotions come later.
Yes. Yep. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
What parts of you has survived every transition in your life?
My humor.
Yeah, that's true. I can confirm that. Yep.
I could definitely say a survivor personality is somebody that can laugh at themselves and be like, and laugh at the world and make the world laugh.
Yep.
It's such an important aspect of coming back.
Bouncing back from hardship and resiliency.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. I mean, you know me, honey. I trip. I fall. I am so perfectly imperfect.
Yep.
But you know what? The world loves me.
Yeah. That's very true. I mean, that's why Artful Nights Maine was so incredible.
Yeah.
Do you think that hardship clarified what mattered in your life, or did it completely scramble it?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. It really did. And I think such an important part of any situation that you're in, whether it be, cancer, this, that, or whatever, any struggles that you have, I feel like it's important to find that place where you find the positives in that situation.
Yep.
I think, the car accident, it took everything from me.
I remember. Yeah.
But it also allowed me, because I was working like a banshee.
You were, like you said, you had worked 6 days a week. I mean, you were
7
exhausted.
days. I mean, I was
remember,
7 days a week, and
yeah, you were just going.
and I was, and it happened for a reason.
Yep.
And it's so important to understand that every piece of adversity that we have in life, no matter what it is, there's a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
And to accept it and look back and say, thank you that happened to me.
Yep.
Because I wouldn't have become this person. And to be grateful, even for the stuff that happens that's really shitty.
Yep.
Be grateful, because there's a reason for it. And you may not see it when it's happening, but you will see it someday.
I'd agree with that. That's very good.
Yeah.
Did your art become more important to you during that time period? Did your creativity become more important to you during that time period when you were going through that transition?
It was one of the things that I was so grateful for. I lost a lot of things.
Yep.
I lost my memory.
Yes, I remember.
I lost my my personality for a long time. I lost myself, and it was just because of my brain.
Yep. I remember.
Yeah, it was hard for you.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like it was yesterday where I was when I found out. I was working at Lonesome Lake at the time.
Yeah.
And I was kind of the head manager that day because my hut master was at lakes for what they call hut master set, which is where all the hut masters go and they do professional development up at lakes. The hut next to Mount Washington. And yeah, I remember we were doing a dinner service and it was me and I think 3 others. And I remember getting the call.
Yeah.
And you don't have service at Lonesome. I was actually connected to the Wi-Fi because Lonesome was the first one to get Starlink. And yeah, I remember getting the call and being like, why am I getting a call right now? And then I get the voicemail and it's like, Piers, SOS, this is an emergency. Call me back right now. And I'm like, oh boy. And I remember just like,
Did I call you? Somebody else?
No, you were in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And the news got dropped in the middle of dinner service and I'm sitting there with the phone in my hands, just like, okay, is she good? Is she like, what's going on? Like, what are her symptoms? And I start going through the whole medical side of it. And everybody else in the room, just like you could hear a pin drop. Yeah. So that was pretty brutal. And I had to keep a pretty strong front and make it through that dinner service. But, I think a few days later I had to go and I stayed with you for a couple of days as you were recovering. And that was really difficult. And I didn't realize how much that stuck with me until actually recently. I was on a trip. Guiding a group, and I finally got like 5 minutes of alone time because when you're out there, your focus is on the clients or the students at the time. And yeah, I just like took a moment. I was sitting down by the river and for some reason that came up and I just started crying and it was like, I didn't think about that. I haven't thought about it for a while, but it just kind of came up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was very difficult, but we're here now. We're here now. Absolutely.
That's right. And I've come a long way.
Yeah.
And,
would you say that your definition of personal success had to change as you had to make that transition?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My definition of everything had to change, because when you have a brain injury, you can't trust your own thoughts at that time,
I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything changed.
Yep.
And I can't remember the original question, but you better ask me.
No, that's fine. If your definition of personal success had to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, cause you went from being like one of the art night industry giants.
I would say the giant in Maine.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd agree with that. And then you had to pivot.
I did. Yeah. And the one thing I think I'm so grateful for, is that the one thing that I did not lose was my ability to create.
That's true. Yep. It just changed forms.
It just changed forms.
Yeah.
Just like me, you know?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you say your biggest motivations have been in terms of staying the straight and narrow in terms of your neurological recovery? Because you had that time period, not to bring it up, but you had that time period where you had to go back to the hospital.
I did.
And that was a super pretty big thing.
Yeah.
But you've been on the mend and you've done
Yeah.
incredible. So what would you say has been your biggest motivational factors to staying on the straight and narrow?
For me, again, I think it's that belief that I have.
Mhm.
We've got one life,
Yes,
and that damn life is a gift.
absolutely.
It's such a gift. So you work your ass off to make sure it's the best life possible.
Yeah, I think a lot of people need to hear that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people need to realize how much agency they have in changing their life. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I believe like the one disservice that that as a world or whatever that we've done to kids and your generation is, those little assholes in Silicon Valley.
Yep.
We've had this conversation.
We definitely have had this conversation.
That have introduced the internet, that
Yep.
have introduced, these poor little babies are addicted to the phone. And, we've seen this increases stress, cortisol, because these kids don't understand what they're seeing. And to me, that is the one disservice we've done to young people, is introducing technology. We've created robots. You guys date on the Tinder and all that stuff, and all you do is do the bang bang. It's wrong.
Oh my God.
It is wrong on so many levels because it's taken away that personal aspect of love and communication. Why are you laughing? Oh, the bang bang?
Yeah.
The love and the communication
Yeah.
that inherently has happened with kids looking at a screen.
Yeah. No, I definitely, and I think that there's a large group of,
And it's made them chunky, man. Those poor little, I could not believe so my partner has 2 sons.
Yep.
And my stepchildren, and I've gone to their baseball games, and all these young men have titties. And I am like, what is it that's happened in this world that these young men at 10, 11, and 12 have titties?
yeah.
We are creating a society that unfortunately, it breaks my heart.
Someone said it once to me, and I thought it was a pretty good way of putting it, that we've already, I don't want to use the word colonized because there's a huge racial implication with colonize, but we've already conquered the outside world, right? There's very few places on earth that we haven't gone, that we haven't quartered up, that we haven't
Ocean.
sold. The ocean, sure.
Yeah.
But there's very few places on earth that we haven't turned into capitalistic gain.
Yeah.
So what wasn't colonized, what was in our heads,
Yeah.
right? So they took our physical world and now they've taken our mental world, is how somebody once put it to me. And I was like, that's super alarming. And the sad thing about it is that the next generation, I think they're called Gen Beta, Gen Alpha.
Yeah, I don't know any of the gens.
It would be my generation's kids.
Yeah.
Is just doesn't stand a chance, right?
As far as
In terms of their ability to resist. You know what I mean? So I think unless the parents make a conscious decision, which Gen Z is very cognizant of the harmful effects of screens because we grew up with it, right? We were the beginning.
You were the beginning.
We were.
Yeah.
We are the ones that it began with. And it wasn't addictive when it began with us. So we saw it all the way through.
Yes.
But Gen Alpha, which is the generation after mine, never stood a chance. Right?
No.
So unless Gen Z makes a conscious decision to restrict their kids' mobile usage, Gen Beta, I think is what they're called, is not going to stand a chance.
No.
And that's really sad.
No, you've lost your ability to communicate. You've lost your ability to, I mean, they even have those muffin tops because of the cortisol.
Are we talking about kids? Kids?
The titties and the muffin tops. And those things did not exist when we were young.
Correct.
When I was young.
Yeah.
And my generation would be the Stranger Things generation.
Yeah, like the 1980s. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
riding my bicycle with my posse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And that breaks my heart.
Yeah, it's definitely something that is. I think it's the lack of recreation in these kids' lives. You know what I mean? They're eating processed foods. They're no longer climbing trees. You know what I mean? Because they don't have the spaces where that's available. When I did it, I was in a graveyard. We had the graveyard.
They don't have the desire to do it.
They don't have the desire. They don't have the community surrounding them to push them to do these things.
No.
It's just a tragedy. And,
Yes. And I'm telling you, like so much of the depression and the anxiety and all of these things that kids, that has become commonplace.
Mm-hmm.
Is a direct result of technology, screen time, the ability, not getting outside, not experiencing the world. I mean, not communicating. Remember when your buddies used to come over and they would all sit, like you guys would all sit there with your computers?
Yeah,
but nobody would talk?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and they've lost their childhood. They've lost that natural wonder that propels them to pursue curiosity. I mean, look at, oh my gosh, like look at, kids, when a kid touches a bee for the first time and gets stung, you know what I mean? Like moments like that where there's that curiosity that leads to this thing, or the curiosity that leads them to skip their first stone, or when they see a deer when they're walking through the woods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When they're out.
Smell.
Yeah,
smell
the air, hear the birds and wonder like what birds are singing. They don't have that anymore. Their life is confined to this little box that gives them the illusion of infinity.
Yeah.
And that's really scary.
Oh yeah.
And the illusion of infinity, because it's just that they understand, whoever created this system understands our brains so well.
Oh sure.
That they just know how to keep it locked in a loop.
Oh yeah.
Some of the smartest people in the world, people that dedicate their lives to studying this.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to keep the brain locked in a loop, right? And that's why doom scrolling is such a problem.
Oh, yes.
And you never feel better. It's like eating mental potato chips. You never feel better after you doom scroll.
I know. If you sit there all day and you play the video games with the shoot, where is the, where's the reprieve in that?
There is none.
Yeah. They're addicted to it. And that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Breaking my heart. Young people, get your ass off your damn phones and go outside and sniff and feel and root yourself and actually look at the sky.
Yeah. Learn some constellations.
Yeah.
Learn some constellations. Learn the stories behind them, the stories that were passed down.
Sniff a flower. Even if it stinks.
Yeah, not a trillium. Don't sniff those.
Not a trillium. That's a stinking Benjamin. You don't want that flower.
Don't do that.
But yeah.
Plant
something,
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm coming to. Just because grocery stores and grocery prices are so expensive right now, just due to what's going on. That me and my roommate have been discussing planting a garden.
Beautiful.
Growing potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Just something. Just to offset some of those costs. Excuse me. And then
homesteader.
Homesteading, yeah, which is actually the next topic I had for you.
Yeah.
If someone walked onto your property tomorrow, because I understand you just went through a pretty big move, right?
I did.
Yeah,
you
moved. You moved.
Yeah. So
and,
basically, I'm so sorry, baby. I don't mean to interrupt you.
You're good.
After the accident, we had owned our home 15 years. Man, I bought that big boy.
Yes.
In Gardner, and did everything myself.
Yep.
Had no idea what I was doing when I bought a house. Man, I didn't even know how to run a lawnmower.
Yep.
And I remember I hired Lawn Boy, and he says to me in September, Lawn Boy says, "Okay, I'm going to get done now." And I said, "What do you mean you're going to get done?" He goes, "The grass stops growing."
Yeah.
That is how little I knew
Yep.
about running a house. And in 15 years, we got this 3,000 square foot house, and Mommy learned a lot, and
Yes,
we
you did.
made it. And after the accident, it became too much.
Yep.
It became too much. So I, with the love of my life, my partner now, I decided to finally take the plunge and bought this beautiful farm in Winslow, 5 acres of property. And it was like 5,000 square foot. It was a huge house.
Big property.
You know, but yeah. And I
And you've gotten into homesteading.
I've gotten into homesteading.
Yes, you have.
They know about how to plant a garden, man. I kill a plant.
Yeah.
But my family has, planted, and I got to like grow food.
Yes.
Holy crap balls. And I made, what do you call that?
Maple syrup.
That too. But I made canning things.
Yeah,
I made apple jelly.
Yeah, you were.
I picked the apples off the property. I made the apple jelly.
Yeah.
I don't even cook.
Yeah, and you've gotten into homesteading and you've started to grow your own food.
Pickled relish.
What isn't growing your own food just such a beautiful form?
I can't even tell you.
Of an empowering form of like self-sustainability.
Yeah.
Especially, I went to the grocery store the other day, and it was like just all these people just blank stares, scanning these things. What happens if the grocery store goes? Like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do?
I know.
So growing your own food and having so much food that you just don't, so much produce that you don't know what to do with it, it's just such a beautifully empowering thing that anybody can do.
Oh, yeah.
If you put the work in.
I was, so pleased because, I mean, the house that we bought, first of all, landscape, we got every kind of flower on there, but we have pear trees, we got apple trees, we've got raspberries that grow, blueberries. I mean, I was like, holy guacamole, we bought it in the wintertime, and then in the summer it was so fruitful. And then we, grew a garden from, rhubarb. I got the rhubarb. And
you have rhubarb?
I have rhubarb, baby.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, I decided I was going to make maple syrup.
How'd that go? Yeah, tell me about how that went.
Oh my God, it was amazing. I love it. So and I did it the old fashioned way. I'm not like a puss that had my trees, directly with
the hoses.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've seen
Heck
those.
no. I actually tapped 6 maple trees, and I ended up, I think, with like I don't know, I would say 10, 15 gallons of maple syrup.
Or maple sap?
No.
Of maple syrup? Like actual refined syrup?
Actually, maybe I'm exaggerating. I can't remember. But I can tell you this. Every day I would go out and I would collect all my buckets. Mm-hmm. And I remember the first week we got like 40 gallons the first 2 weeks, we got 40 gallons from those 6 trees.
Wow.
And let me just tell you, it is not for the faint of heart, because then you have to boil it down. And it takes hours and hours. And you've got to stay up all night because you got to keep that stuff going. Mm-hmm. But it was the most satisfying thing. I learned everything there was to learn about the maple syrup. And man, my maple syrup is good.
It is really good. Yeah, that's
really
always
is.
something I can look forward to.
It's kind of addictive.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to sell syrup on the side, or maybe make maple syrup candy?
We've talked about it, and we've talked about, perhaps at some point opening up a farm stand on the property, and just doing like excess vegetables and canned goods and all, maple syrup, and yeah. So in the future, we've done a lot of work.
Yes, you have.
A lot of work in a year
it's
and
very,
a half.
very impressive.
Yeah.
Do you think people are craving a slower life right now? Like
I hope so.
Yeah, as you've gone from like being like this high intensity art lady to like a homesteader. Do you think that people are craving a slower existence?
I hope so. Yeah. I think people especially right now, are struggling financially. So I think a slower existence is, not in the cards for a lot of people.
Yep.
But I hope so.
Yeah,
I
I'd
hope
agree
so.
with that. So I just had a couple more questions for you. Say, I think that this is a really important thing that I want to cover. Say there was a young single mom who was entirely in your position back when we were living in Portland.
Yeah.
Because I knew that was a super difficult time for you.
Oh, sure.
What would your advice be to her as she struggles to navigate motherhood and the rising tide that is that cost and is that inflation and those grocery prices and diaper prices? What is your advice? Because I feel like that's really important advice to give.
Yeah. What would my advice be? You know what my advice would be is the most important thing in your life in that situation is that human.
Mm-hmm.
Is your child, and prioritize that baby.
Yep.
Maybe you, they don't need things. They need time. They need your time. Don't get so engulfed in the stress of the world and, that grind. Kids need you, not things.
Yep.
And so I would say prioritize that time.
Yep.
And as far as everything else, the food and the this and the that, cut corners when you can so that you can be there.
And be present.
Because you only have one shot.
Yeah, you only have at the very most, 18
There's
years.
no do-overs when
No.
it comes to parenting.
Not at all.
And get your damn kids off the phone.
Yes.
Get your damn kids off the TV. Do not parent that way.
Yep.
Take the time every night to read them a story.
Yep. Absolutely.
Listen to their stories.
Yeah. Give them autonomy. Give them space.
That's right. Let them speak to you. Make them speak to you.
Hear their feedback.
Darn right.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to ask a question that I think a lot of people are curious about. Will there be a much anticipated return of the art lady artist Nicole? Will Artful Nights Maine return?
I cannot imagine that I have given up teaching forever.
I would hope not, because you were pretty good at it.
Oh, I am I actually, yeah. I can't imagine. And if it is at all possible, it's been a year and a half almost 2 years since the accident. And at this time, I'm still not able to drive. And I'm still struggling with, healing and a lot of neurological stuff. But I cannot imagine that I've given it up. So you know what? I'm going to say stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Stay
Awesome.
tuned, everybody.
Yeah.
Because Mama ain't done yet.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on a much more lighthearted note, I thought this would be a funny segment we could do. The premise is simple. You have to give a single sentence of advice on each of the topics that I'm going to give you.
Okay.
And for people my age and younger.
Okay.
Afterwards, we can discuss.
Sure.
But a single sentence is all you get.
Okay. Oh, gosh,
All right.
that's tricky for me.
I do.
Mama's talker. Okay.
All right, ready? Number 1, technology use.
Cut the shit.
Yeah. Put the phone
I
down.
only get one sentence.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Yeah. That's a pretty good one for that.
Cut the shit.
Cut the shit. Put the phone down. Socializing.
Learn to talk to people. Look them in. I'm sorry, more than one sentence.
Learn to talk to people. Okay, now we can discuss it. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, man, you can't like look people in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go to, they don't even do damn dances at the schools anymore.
They don't, but I think that dance has been something that's been super. I've gotten into it recently. I've been going to like folk dances and contra dances.
Yeah.
As a way to kind of fill that social void that I've had since moving to Portland.
Yeah.
And I think dancing is super, super cool. And I got into it later on, and I'm very thankful. And I go every Thursday, and it's just been a huge source of joy for
me.
me.
But I'm talking about school dances where you used to go and you used to get all stinky and sweaty and dance with the people.
Gosh,
and they've even taken that out of schools. And get off those damn dirty Tinder, caca sites.
We'll get to dating. We'll get to dating. Don't worry.
Okay, my love. So learn to talk to people again. More communication, less this.
For anybody who couldn't see, obviously, she was imitating texting.
Yes.
Yeah, less texting, more communication in person.
Communication in person. Look people in the eyes. Shake their freaking hands and speak.
And don't be afraid to talk to people in public. I think that, I don't know, especially after COVID, we got so closed off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got so closed off in terms of like creating bonds with strangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is the death of third spaces has been really, really difficult. Dating.
Okay, get off your little Tinder, Pinda, and stop having nookie before you get to know the person.
Yes.
Okay, anybody. This is what I have to say to young women and men. All right, the only thing that you will ever own in your entire life is your body.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Your house is going to come and go. Your things are going to come and go, but that body is going to stay with you forever.
Yep.
And your love flower is precious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you give your love flower away to everybody, you no longer own it.
Yeah, definitely. I think that a lot of people in my generation, myself included,
it's easier to have the nookie than it is to have a conversation.
Isn't that terrifying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't give it away, man. That's yours.
Yep.
Whether you're a man or a woman, hold on to that shit.
Definitely.
If you give it away to everybody and their mother, it's no longer yours.
Yeah. That was a hell of a use of words. But yeah, no, I think that there's a lot of people in my generation that are moving away from dating apps.
I hope so.
Yeah, no, and
organic
is more important.
Yeah.
I kind of learned that the hard way recently.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I don't want to go into it, but yeah, I am no longer on Hinge or Tinder or any dating apps.
Yeah, good.
Which I think is for the better,
Yeah.
especially after my most recent interaction. So,
yeah.
Employment.
Yep. Okay. Well, you are not the center of the to my children. You're not the center of the you're not the center of the universe.
Yep.
Do your damn job.
Yep.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
And do it well.
Yep.
I mean, I don't care what you're doing. You're working at the McDonald's, you're working at the, do it to the best of your damn ability.
Yeah. I think the job market right now is incredibly volatile. And honestly, I'm just thankful to have a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have
pride.
Have pride in what you do, no matter what it is. And be
no
thankful.
No matter what it is.
Be thankful that you have that thing.
That's right. The world does not owe you.
Yeah.
Okay? Have pride. Work hard. Do the best that you can damn do, no matter what the hell it is you're doing.
And I think it's so important too, to have a life outside of your job, right? I know that a lot of people, like their job is like their primary source of socialization. It's obviously their primary source of income, but I think it's really important to balance so that you can come into your job knowing that that's not all you have. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I think that work-life balance is important, but you know what I think is more important?
Doing your job.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't care where you're working. I don't care if you are working at the record store or at the McDonald's or at the whatever. Take a damn shower.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Wash your hair and clean those nasty fingernails.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, definitely.
You know, that's number one. That's talking about pride in your body and yourself. And then have pride in the work that you do.
Yep, definitely.
Don't be nasty.
That's very valid feedback for lots of people. Hobbies.
They're important.
Yep.
They're important, you know, and hobbies are where you go in your life, and everybody's got, you know, something that they're drawn to, whether it be hiking, which you know I hate.
I do know that. We tried that a couple times.
Or, you know, nature or art or whatever. Immerse yourself in that. Go to that place where you feel absolute peace.
Yep. Yep. It's interesting. I found, did I tell you I started a training program for Aegir's Den?
For what?
My competition in October, my medieval MMA competition in October.
Nice.
I started a training program.
Oh, I love that.
Yep. So I've been focused on like nutrition. I've been focused on like technique.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that hobbies are very important and they make you a
Absolutely.
more well-rounded person.
Find that place where you find peace and go there.
Yep.
When you're, you know, depressed, anxious, upset, whatever, go to that place.
Absolutely.
And do it.
And the last and most important thing that I think the world needs advice on, finding joy.
Finding joy. You know, like I said, I feel like the world has you know, the young folks. I mean, the world is not it's not kind, and it's certainly not kind to you.
Mm-mm.
You know, what you deal with are things that many generations have never had to deal with.
Yep.
And I think that puts a lot of pressure and a lot of life is not easy for your generation or the
Generations after me.
Yeah. So joy is a choice.
Yep.
And it comes from balance. And balance comes from, for example, telephone. You know, if you're going to be on your phone for 24/7, you're not going to find joy.
Nope.
You're not going to find peace.
Nope.
You know, you need to find balance in your life. Balance that quiet. Balance.
I think
anything that you do.
Yep.
That makes you happy. Okay. As long as it's not in excess.
Yep.
Brings balance.
Yeah. And then from balance comes joy.
Joy, yeah. And joy is a choice.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
And you have the ability to choose what you think every day. You can allow yourself to go through that nasty rabbit hole, or you can say, you know what? Kakasaka, I am going to turn my life around today, and I'm going to choose not to let myself go down that rabbit hole, and I'm going to distract myself with something else.
Yep.
You are in control of your thoughts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So choose joy and laugh at yourself. Everybody's so damn worried about being perfect every day. You know, let go of that. Everything beautiful has a crack in it.
Yep.
Everything important is broken.
Yep. I think the Japanese kind of, I don't remember what that art style was, but they take cracks and they
Oh yeah.
fill it
With the
gold.
gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty, there's a beautiful metaphor in there.
Yeah. And don't worry about what the hell everybody thinks.
Yep. Definitely. So we had a pretty incredible chat here today. We talked about your connection with art. We talked about beavers. We talked about
Beaver fever.
We talked about beavers. We talked about your homesteading, and we could obviously spend more and more hours chatting about this. But unfortunately, my slot here at the Portland Media Center has come to an end. So unfortunately, this is going to be the end of today's episode. Again, Mom, thank you so much for coming in.
You are so welcome, baby.
This was a lot of fun, and hopefully I don't get in trouble for this episode, but we'll see.
What? What are you saying?
I'm just saying, it's...
Mama speaks the truth.
Sure do. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody.
Yes, thank you for having me, Boo Boo.
Absolutely.
Thank you for everybody for listening.
Yep, absolutely. And as always, stay weird, Portland.